everybody, and welcome to a new episode of the Terra Adventure Podcast. And this is the 356th episode of it. And tonight, I want to talk about something that a lot of Power Ranger fans have been wondering my thoughts on the upcoming 30th anniversary reunion. As I touched on last time about how people felt about my opinion about the upcoming 30th season of Power Rangers, that being the third season of Dino Fury in the form of Power Rangers Cosmic Fury. You must be wondering, given the roster for the returning Mighty Morphin Rangers and with the inclusion of Trinis Daughter, that being Yen, was it? Yeah, and then the actress that they got for her to seem somewhat to be in resemblance of Tui Trang, to honor her memory. Of all things, for the upcoming 30th anniversary reunion episode of Power Rangers for Power Rangers Cosmic Fury, the Mighty Morphin reunion I do want to see, but I do want to give my little 2 cents on this topic, specifically even when I talk a little bit about some of the choices being made and one of the reasons behind the scenes whys, in terms of the choices that they got outside of Walter Jones and David Yost coming back. And what I think a lot of Mighty Morphin fans feel about some of the following Rangers that they're not always going to get, but they got what they got for the upcoming 30th season next year. You should know that throughout the course of 2022, and well, to be honest, 2022 has been a really dull and bleak year for me with Power Rangers. Besides all these new reveals for the Lightning collection and whatnot, and all these surprising twists and turns of what's been going on with comics and everything else. But when it comes to the upcoming, what was planned for a reunion for MMPR, something that David Yost had teased for a number of years, since, who knows, 2020 or 2019, if we ever did have a reunion of all of the past Mighty Morphin cast members, or particularly only those of the original 6 lineup. But we got to remember, Tui Trang is no longer with us. But it was already confirmed since Power Morphicon that, and even with the tease for, and even Hasbro PulseCon, that David Yost and Walter Jones, surprise enough, were going to come back for the upcoming 30th season of Power Rangers. Well, that has come true. I didn't really think that Walter Jones, who played Zack in the original first 2.5 seasons, would come back to the world of Power Rangers, and wonder, man, where has the Zack man been after season 2? Well, at least we'll probably get some leverage and backstory of what happened to him since we last saw him in the, takeoff at the Peace Conference. Even though the last time we seen Billy, you gotta remember, for a lot of us who saw the last tail end of, Zeo, Billy was just, was just aging into an old man, and then the Accretion Rangers had to find some resources to properly restore Billy to his proper age before he died of old age or so. So he fled to Aquitar to get some really extensive treatment, and that was the last time we would see Billy. But you should know that the behind the scenes stuff, which I'll discuss about David Yost in a separate video next time, is one of the benefactors why Billy the character has not returned, with his proper actor since that tail end of Zeo. But then you get into some of the choices for, in terms of anybody returning from the original cast of Mighty Morphin. A lot has happened within 2022 with Power Rangers, particularly actors that have been part of the franchise for nearly 30 years. The top from right off the bat, earlier this year, not so long ago, Austin St. John, who played Jason, the original Red Ranger, got into some serious legal trouble over some tax fraud during COVID-19. And due to him being pled not guilty, but I swore I thought he was pled guilty, but given from what I heard, but due to that, he cannot leave the United States to go to New Zealand for the upcoming 30th anniversary reunion. And I'm sorry for all of those who are fans of Austin St. John and Jason like me. It's sad that the original Red Ranger will no longer come back for more future reunion episodes that will take place, since Power Rangers' production still is a mainstay in New Zealand, because come 2023 will be 20 years since Ninja Storm, since Power Rangers has been filming in New Zealand. I know, it sucks, but at least we got to see Austin St. John, probably for now, sadly, the last time we would see him again on Power Rangers, and have the original Morpher and his Tyrannosaurus Power Coin. It sucks, I know. So, given what happened with Austin St. John earlier this year, I hope you guys understand. So, no Austin St. John, ASJ for the reunion. Next up is Amy Jo Johnson, who played Kimberly, the original Pink Ranger. I don't know, if Walter and David are coming back, and since Austin has been pretty much permanently banned from leaving the States to come for the reunion. You should know that Amy Jo Johnson has been, she hasn't been in the main show of Power Rangers, Turbo movie notwithstanding. And ever since the Turbo movie 25 years ago, that was the last time we would see Amy Jo portray Kimberly for just like a special appearance or so within the main universe of Power Rangers, that being the TV show and again the Turbo movie. But Amy Jo has been doing like a lot of TV show directing, especially one episode of Superman and Lois that she directed earlier this year. Kudos for Amy Jo for doing something for Superman. Despite that, she'll always still be a Power Ranger in our hearts. But although she has been doing a lot of other things going on, and plus, even though Austin got to finally come to New Zealand for the Beast Morphers Dino Ranger team up reunion thing, but Amy Jo, I don't know how she would feel coming to Power Rangers again if they even thought about for this upcoming reunion, if they had a story for Kimberly to return for the 30th anniversary and find a way to retain her Mighty Morphin Pink powers. Of course, this would bring up to the reason why, conspicuously, why Rocky and Catherine are rumored or somewhat later now confirmed to come back to replace Jason and Kimberly if you couldn't get ASJ or AJJ, A to the double J, back, basically. And, I think that's probably why it's safer to do Steve and Kat again, because after all, Catherine Sutherland and Steve Cardenas did come back for Super Ninja Steel nearly 5 years ago for the 25th anniversary episode, with Rocky with the Mighty Morphin powers. Wasn't sure if he has the Ape Ninja coin or so. And Kat coming back as the Pink Turbo Ranger, when really she should have came back with the Zeo powers, because, I get that Turbo, fun fact, Turbo is Catherine Sutherland's favorite season of Power Rangers, since after all, Turbo was, well, what that was. But I kind of wish that, speaking of how, with Dimensions in Danger again, one of the few things I wish that I would change from that is, if Tommy had the Master Morpher to, use the Zeo powers of the Red Zeo Ranger 5 with his Mighty Morphin powers and Dino Thunder Black power, it would have been nice if they had Master Morphers for Rocky and Kat also, but, well, Dimensions in Danger was all Tommy. But I guess it makes sense to get Steve and Catherine to come back, but I know there's I even was on a Facebook group, what Power Ranger Facebook group I was on over the last couple of weeks, where people were like, I don't want to see Rocky and Kat again. I want Jason and Kimberly back. Well, look, I'm sorry to break it to all of you, for those out there who are fans of those characters and their actors. Austin St. John, like I said earlier in the video, in this recording, is banned from leaving the United States due to his COVID tax fraud thing that he got arrested for earlier this spring. And who knows, with Amy Jo Johnson lately. So, therefore, Steve and Catherine, we just have to deal with either take them or leave them. But then with Rocky and Kat coming back since Dimensions in Danger, it's going to be weird seeing these two. Rocky and Kat know who Billy are because they were on the team with Billy during the third season of Power Rangers, the last of season 3, by the time Catherine had replaced Kimberly as the Pink Ranger for the latter chunk of Mighty Morphin. And when Billy was, the last time we would have Billy as the Blue Ranger, and then by Zeo, he would be a tech assistant for the Rangers with Zordon and Alpha during Zeo at the Power Chamber. So, therefore, at least Rocky and Kat know who Billy are, but Rocky and Kat, well, Catherine especially, and Rocky, they don't know who Zach is. So hopefully they'll give an explanation, and I hope maybe somewhere down the line in the 30th anniversary episode next year, when Cosmic Fury is done filming, they'll probably explain or have Billy introduce Kat and Rocky to Zach, since after all, Billy and Zach have had history on the team during the Mighty Morphin days. So maybe that way they'll probably give a big shoe to fill in after all. And I wouldn't be surprised if, would it be funny if Rocky made a little in-show reference about, how when Rocky, Aisha, and Adam replaced Zach, Jason, and Trini back during the power transfer, that would it be funny if Rocky was like, my boy Adam replaced you, right? So how did you get your powers back, Zach? Or something, I don't know. But somewhere down the line, they'll probably throw a bone at that, I know they're probably not going to bring up the peace conference, or somewhere down the line in the reunion, with Trini's daughter. Now we get on to her. Like somewhere down the line in the reunion, they'll probably have Trini's daughter Yen, played by actress Charlie Kirsch, who's a up and rising actress. Now, here's my brief thoughts on the actress for Trini's daughter for the reunion. She's perfect for the part because she actually does resemble, and she looks somewhat in kin to Tui Trang when she played Trini. Wow. And honestly, I feel like she was, I think she's kind of like okay, let me slow down this before I get a somewhat giddy about this. I like how they got an actress that is somewhat a split image, modern day look-alike of Tui to keep the spirit of her actress alive. Because, here's the thing. When we had the Dino Ranger team up, it wasn't clear whether if Trini's daughter, if Yen had the Mighty Morphin Yellow power during the Dino Ranger team up, but I don't even know if Trini... in show, as opposed to, as we should know, Tui Trang passed away in 2001 in that car accident, September. So it's possible, looking back on Grid Connection when the Mighty Morphin Rangers showed up. I'm not sure about Legendary Battle, because I know that people said, even what Ranger Wiki said, that all the past Rangers except for Mighty Morphin, Dino Thunder were going to come back for Beast Morphers for Grid Connection. With the Dino Charge Ranger, but specifically Mighty Morphin and Dino Thunder, saying that the last appearance for most of these characters was going to be Legendary Battle, but then knowing the Mighty Morphin Rangers and Dino Thunder Rangers in suit only, except, need their actors, but Austin St. John was going to, of course, come back. But bringing Trini in spirit back, well, it was really going to be more like probably somewhere during Legendary Battle, or somewhere around Grid Connection. That was her daughter in the Mighty Morphin Yellow suit, but of course doing all the grunting. But before we even had an actress for Yen Quan, basically. And I feel like maybe they'll explain that, and somewhere down the line in Cosmic Fury or something, who knows. These are just my little pre-thoughts about it. I think whoever the casting director was that got an actress that could fit Trini's the daughter of Trini's mold, like mother, like daughter, passing the torch of who had the saber-tooth tiger power for 30 years and pass it on to child. At least this is basically Samurai calling a do-over when the parents of the would-be Samurai Rangers would pass their power of, the Samurai from parent to child, that sort of deal. At least this will probably be a way better passing of the torch of the power from parent to child than what Samurai and what Samurai had attempted with the Rangers as parents, with like Jaden and Lauren's father passing on the Red Ranger power to his children, for example. So, I hope that they do something right with that. And, the reunion is, given some of the choices and some, what's going to be so odd about this, but, they're not going to bring back everybody from Mighty Morphin. Like I said, they're not going to bring back Austin St. John. They're not going to bring back Amy Jo Johnson. And then, even for other Mighty Morphin actors that we haven't heard from a while, Johnny on Bosch and Karen Ashley especially. if they wanted to bring back if this was going to be a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers reunion, instead of just a reunion of the 5 surviving original 6 Rangers, knowing again Tui passed away. But yeah, remember, like I said about Austin St. John again, but they'll just figure out a way and probably give an excuse why Jason hasn't come back, maybe, but just not, because realizing in real life what Austin did earlier and why he got arrested. And then you think about if they ever did a reunion of all the Mighty Morphin, all the Rangers that were, the Mighty Morphin, they need to figure a way how to explain some of these characters' return and some unexplained absences going into the reunion episode. If wondering whatever happened to Adam, Aisha, darn well Aisha is still in Africa, probably still in universe. We don't know what happened to Aisha given what we learned back in the Alien Ranger storyline at the end of that. So, but again, the last time we had Adam was once a Ranger in Operation Overdrive over 15 years ago at this point, but come next year will be 16 years since we had him, but he's not coming back for the reunion because, Johnny Young Bosch is very busy with voice acting and probably who knows what he's doing now. And Karen Ashley, well, who knows what she's up to. But yeah, I think I'm happy that Steve Cardenas and Catherine Sutherland are coming back as Rocky and Catherine. With Billy, I don't know, they'll probably do another thing for the reunion, do an explanation about how did Billy get the Blue Mighty Morphin powers back or so, if he will resume his duties as the Mighty Morphin Blue Ranger. I don't care if David Yost is in his 50s now, he can still fit that blue spandex and the Triceratops helmet. Same go for Walter Jones, also in his 50s, still as the original Black Ranger. Because again, a lot of the actors from our generation of Power Rangers, for us 90s kids, you should know, as us 90s kids are in our 30s, and for some of those late 80s, early 90s kids, you're also in your 30s also, but you're pushing 40 for some of you 80s kids that were still watching Power Rangers during the Mighty Morphin days. But while the actors that have been part of this era, they're well into their late 40s and 50s now. So now, if you guys are wondering why Jason David Frank Tommy is not coming back, I'll discuss that next video on the podcast. More Mighty Morphin discussion in terms of what we're going through with our upcoming 30th anniversary. You should know that Jason David Frank, who played Tommy for the longest time in Power Rangers, is not coming back for the upcoming 30th anniversary, because I think Dimensions in Danger it has so far come to this point, will be the last time we'll have Tommy. And I think, thank God, because let's face it, and I know I'm going to say this in the next episode regarding Tommy's absence for the upcoming anniversary, the big upcoming monumental 30th anniversary, that I, for one, am sick and tired of Jason David Frank. He had his time as Tommy in Power Rangers, so that's why Dimensions in Danger, he gave his all with a morpher where he can morph into all his past Ranger forms, from the Green Ranger to the White Ranger, Red Zeo, and Dino Thunder Black in the show. Not counting Lord Draken. Lord Draken is a Boom Studios comic exclusive Ranger, so you should know that Lord Draken has no place in the TV show universe. But with Jason David Frank doing Legend of the White Dragon, which also features a few former Power Ranger actors. I'll discuss Legend of the White Dragon when discussing about JDF and him not coming back for Power Rangers' 30th anniversary next episode. But I think they'll probably acknowledge Tommy's absence likely in the reunion episode coming up also, since, given how JDF is personally and how he felt about Hasbro and how his displeasing of Hasbro taking so much control of Power Rangers, and that's why he wants to focus on Legend of the White Dragon. But anyway, all time will tell. So I think that's all I can say. But in final thoughts, I think it was for the best that they are going with a rando choice of Rangers, representing the 3 different eras of Mighty Morphin, like the season 1 era where Billy and Zach were part of the team. Season 2, Rocky. Seasons 2 and 3 with Rocky. Season 3 with Catherine. And then our newcomer for the 30th anniversary to pay respect for our fallen Tui Trang, you know, who played Trini, with Charlie Kirsch playing Yen, Trinis Daughter, for the upcoming anniversary. And then I think somewhere down the line, the Dino Fury Rangers, and like I said last episode, even though I'm not looking forward for Cosmic Fury, but they'll probably somewhere in the anniversary have the Dino/Cosmic Fury Rangers team up with the Mighty Morphin Rangers, because something tells me Lord Zed is going to come back in some capacity. And I don't know if the Mighty Morphin Rangers will have some new homage of the command center / power chamber up in space somewhere. Kind of think of it as like the Mighty Morphin's version of the Astro Mega Ship or Terra Venture, you know, in a way, to pay homage to all of that, because I don't know. I know that Cosmic Fury may seem special for Power Ranger fans, well, as much as I'm still irked about how they're going to handle the Zord footage from Q Ranger, but then again, that's all I can say about this anniversary for now until we get more upcoming developments going into 2023. So anyway, guys, thank you for listening. I'll see you guys next video about JDF and his departure from Power Rangers.